Are you considering living in a tiny home? The thought of a simpler lifestyle, less clutter, and lower living costs can be quite appealing. Tiny homes, these compact living spaces that have been glamorized by popular TV shows like Tiny House, Big Living, and Tiny House Nation, have captured the imagination of many. The promises are tempting: a life unburdened by excess possessions, the freedom of reduced financial obligations, and the charm of a cozy, personalized space. This allure of downsizing and leading a minimalist lifestyle can be quite compelling, fueling a movement that has seen many trading their traditional homes for these diminutive dwellings. But as with all things, there's more to tiny homes than meets the eye. Let's find out. One of the most significant challenges of tiny home living is navigating the complex web of zoning restrictions and building codes. These regulations can vary widely between cities, counties, and states, and they often present significant hurdles for prospective tiny homeowners. For instance, many areas have minimum size requirements for homes, rendering tiny homes illegal. Furthermore, many tiny homes are built on trailers and classified as recreational vehicles, which can only be parked in designated areas, limiting your options for where to live. Finding a suitable location to park or build a tiny home can be another significant challenge. Many traditional housing areas are not zoned for tiny homes, and even in those that are, finding a plot of land that is both affordable and suitable can be a daunting task. Additionally, once you've found the perfect spot, you may face opposition from neighbors who are not keen on having a tiny home in their vicinity. If you're thinking of starting a family, or if you already have children or pets, living in a tiny home can present its own unique set of challenges. Space is at a premium in a tiny home, and it can quickly feel cramped with more than one or two occupants. This lack of space can be particularly difficult for children, who need room to play and explore, and for larger pets who may not have enough room to move around comfortably. It's true that some tiny home communities offer shared outdoor spaces that can be used for recreation, partially mitigating the issue of limited indoor space. All in all, these challenges can make tiny home living less ideal than it first appears. Let's talk about the hidden costs of tiny homes. Contrary to popular belief, tiny doesn't always mean cheap. Did you know that the costs per square foot to build a tiny home can often be higher than those of larger homes? This is because the customization and efficient use of a small space often require more intricate designs and higher quality materials relative to size. That's right, every inch matters when you're working with a smaller footprint. The costs of materials, labor, and customization can quickly add up, making the building process an expensive endeavor. And while it might seem like a great way to save money up front, you should be prepared for the possibility that your tiny home could end up costing you more than you bargained for. A key money matter to think about is that it's harder to find loans for tiny homes. You usually can't get a regular home loan for them. You might need to consider personal loans or loans for recreational vehicles, RVs, but these often have higher interest rates. Also, these loans often need you to have a good credit score, so they might not be an option for everyone. Another important thing to remember is that tiny homes usually lose value as time goes on, similar to how cars do. This happens mainly because they're often on trailers and seen as recreational vehicles, not as actual houses. However, the lower starting cost and the money you save on living expenses can make up for this loss in value for many people, making it a fair exchange. Either way, when it comes to selling a tiny home, it can be quite a challenge. The market for tiny homes is significantly smaller than that of conventional homes. This means that finding a buyer may take longer, and getting your desired asking price can prove to be difficult. You'll need to be prepared for the possibility that you might have to sell at a lower price than you initially anticipated. It's also worth noting that, as mentioned, zoning restrictions and building codes can pose obstacles, potentially leading to additional costs. For example, you might need to invest in a piece of land if you can't legally park your tiny home anywhere you please. Considering these financial factors is crucial in making an informed decision about tiny home living. So, there you have it. Living in a tiny home sounds great, but it comes with its challenges. There are hidden costs that might make it pricier per square foot than a big house. You'll also face issues like not having much room, rules on where you can put your home, its value going down over time, and trouble getting a loan. It's important to think about all these things before deciding. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this one.